Welcome back to Change Ed.
Changed.
Oh, that's sticking, huh?
Yep.
That's here to stay.
It's here to stay. Thank you, Greg Mazer.
Right. We are still here at P&C 24. Excited to be here live at the Invention Convention. And I got to say, this place was hopping.
Yeah, it was.
There was a lot of amazing individuals that were here that are so articulate, they're passionate, and they're inspiring.
I think I said super impressive in every interview, probably 3 or 4 times, and I've never meant it more. I just can't believe, from 4th graders to Miss Teen America. I mean, what an outrageous group of kids, and their parents and their families should be so proud.
I mean, no offense to the people we interviewed before this, but today is by far my favorite day.
Yeah.
I think for us in this experience, we were like, okay, can we get your contact information? Like, we want to track your career. We want to see where you go.
Yeah.
Make sure you give us a shout out.
Right.
I'm buying night lights now.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yes.
A lot of great things. So this was definitely the cherry on top for this whole experience. And it was nice to sit down with such driven young individuals.
Listen to the kids. They're awesome.
Listen to the kids. Get ready.
Get ready for an incredible interview. We are here at Invention, and we're happy to have with us
Logan Ivory.
All right, Logan. Well, Logan, what school are you from?
I go to Cambria Heights Middle School.
Cambria Heights Middle School. Where is Cambria Heights?
It's like Evansburg, Altoona area.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. And what grade did you say there?
I'm in 8th grade.
8th grade. 8th grader in the house. All right, sir. Tell us, what is your invention?
So our invention is called SAS, which stands for Swift Alert System, and it was invented to promote school safety and decrease the average response time of authorities showing up on site.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, wait a second. Tell me a little bit more about it. How does it work, and how did you come up with the idea?
So as you know, most teachers wear lanyards in school with their ID badge to get indoors and stuff. So it's a button piece that can clip onto their lanyards, and through the button there's a Bluetooth signal it'll be almost like a kit that could be applied to a door, or it doesn't even have to be in a classroom. It could be in an office too. And with the button, it has the power to alert authorities, send a signal to a digital mapping software. It can lock the door, and it can roll down a bulletproof blind on the door.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, where do we start? Where do we go from here?
I've been in the room with adults who aren't talking like this about this scenario.
Seriously.
So it's very impressive. What I'd like to know from you is, what was your inspiration for this? Well, how did you kind of come up with this idea?
So we do another competition aside from Invention Convention called TSA, which stands for Technology Student Association. And in that, there's also another event kind of like this called Inventions and Innovations. And there's a topic for that, and it was school safety, security, and sensing. So we started with that topic and went along with that. So that's whenever we dove deeper into that topic, and we came up with speed alerting authorities. And 18 minutes is the average response time, and that's just way too much because every second matters in moments like that. And then we also did a survey with our whole district to like figure out more input on if they've ever experienced anything in our school.
Logan, you are a very, very impressive young man. You're able to speak to this very, very well. You keep mentioning we. Is there a team behind you too?
Yeah, I have a team of my one friend Luke Holtz, which he has a 3D printer, and then with SAS this year, I also have my one friend Maverick Dutko, and he has 2 3D printers, and then I have 6.
Wow. 6 different 3D printers?
Yeah, 6 different 3D
Do they
printers.
do different things? Why do you need 6 of them?
Well, so I also own like a small business.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta
Okay.
get your business too.
We're
Go
looking
ahead.
for sponsors of our podcast. Continue.
So I make these. They're called lithopanes. They're nightlights that I 3D print. Each one takes 9 hours, and it clips onto a nightlight piece that I buy off Amazon, and then I sell them through Facebook and Etsy. And it's people send me the picture, and then I put it through a software that I have, and I use my settings on my slicing software for my computer, and then I print this piece, and on the piece is the picture they sent me. It doesn't look good until you shine the light through. So there's a sensor on the light, so whenever you plug it in and like it's dark, it'll turn on, and then the light shines through the picture and you can see it perfectly.
So you're making personalized like nightlight
Personalized
covers.
nightlights. Yes.
Do you want to tell us the name of your store on Etsy so we
Yeah.
can get a whole bunch of adults buying these
And we'll
things
put
for
your
you?
link in the show notes too, so people can go directly there.
Yeah.
Again, you're going to be 14 and a millionaire. I can't.
So my shop is called Logs 3D Workshop, capital L in Logs, capital D in 3D, and then capital W in Workshop. And I've just started on Etsy, I think like a month ago.
So you need
sleep?
No, seriously.
Your mom is here with you. I'm looking at your mom. As you go to bed.
Well, I do sleep sometimes, but my printers do not. My printers
Once
do
a
not.
week, I
My
take a
printers
nap.
do not. My printers do
Because
not. I
each
love it.
nightlight takes 9 hours. So whenever I wake up, I'll start one. Whenever I get home, I'll start one. And then just keep doing that loop.
What's your
Wow.
favorite 3D printer?
This one I got for Christmas, it's called it's Creality. It's the Ender 3V3KE.
Yeah.
And it's 5 times faster than any of my other printers.
That's cool.
So, yeah, normal nightlight's 9 hours. On that printer, it's 2 hours. So,
Whoa. So you
same
can
quality, too.
increase production once people
Yeah.
listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
You'll be good to go. Okay.
And we'll give you a Change Ed sticker to send out with everyone.
That's right.
Thanks for listening.
Promoter stuff. You said it will activate an alert for first responders.
Yeah.
It will also activate an alert to either shut the door or roll down a bulletproof window. So how are you programming an app to go with that?
So-
Where is that going to go?
All right, sure. The button that attaches to the teacher's lanyard, it's called a Radiohead button, and it's wireless. So whenever you press that, it sends a signal to a box you could almost have in the corner of the classroom.
Okay.
And in that, it's called an Arduino.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of code written into that, which tells everything what to do. So there's a motor that rolls down a bulletproof blind. There's 2 solenoids, or we could use linear actuators. Both almost the same thing, just electromagnetic.
Yeah.
So once the power goes to those, it goes out and locks the door. It's almost like a deadbolt, but from the outside.
Okay.
And then our big thing was the digital mapping software.
Yeah.
So another thing that comes in with the 18-minute response time is, let's say they go into an elementary school. They might walk in with threats right there because elementary school is small.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a whole college campus. Like that's that 18 minutes plus finding where the threat is.
Right.
So the digital mapping, wherever that button's pressed, sends a signal to an app that only the authorities can have.
Yes.
And then, like, let's say you have a 2D picture of your school, lunchroom, classroom, so-and-so, like gym.
Yeah.
Let's say it's pressed in the gym. You press the button, lock down the doors, bulletproof blind, it locks the doors, send the office an alert that they're in lockdown, send the authorities, get them coming right away.
So it
and
kind
the
of
digital
drops
mapping.
like a pin, like
Like a
would on-
GPS locator?
Yeah.
Tells you exactly where.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah, so like the 2D mapping, it'd be like classroom as boxes, and then it just flash that classroom,
That's cool.
and then because then they know exactly where it is. And on the digital mapping software, of course, it'd have the times of when it was pressed. Because like, what if they're going around the school, press, and then they wouldn't know where to go to, but they could see that classroom 4 was pressed first,
Right.
and classroom 5 was pressed last.
Logan, super impressive,
Oh my
buddy.
gosh.
Yeah, essentially you're creating a map,
Yes.
right, of where they've been.
Yep.
They can track them.
Yep.
I agree. Very, very impressed. I want to say your presentation is on point. Obviously, you've done this before. You talked about it a lot.
Yep.
You used really big words and lost me, but I was like all in for everything you said. It makes sense. Thank you for bringing it down to my level at the end.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I want to say to you is you have definitely inspired my son when he listened to this. He is 11. He also got only one 3D printer, not 15 or 9 or 12 or whatever, but has been doing something. He's like very entrepreneurial with it as well. Like he's actually going to school and like selling these prints that he makes at school.
Yeah.
So once I tell him that, now you have, your Etsy and your
Yeah.
Logs 3D workshop, I mean, I'm actually not going to tell him, right? Because like,
Do you
you're
know what
impressive.
3D printer he has?
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
It prints 3D. I don't know. If you even start saying that, I'm like, I'm out. So thank you for coming on the show, for talking.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And telling us all these amazing things. This is like super inspiring. And we actually want to hear from your mom as well and hear about your journey a little bit more. But thank you for coming on and sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck.
I think we have the official nightlight of the Change Ed podcast.
Yeah.
I am
That's cool.
legit going to
Very
get one
cool.
with Change Ed on it. I think I'm going to totally go to Logs 3D Workshop. Right?
Thanks, Logan.
All right. Thanks, Logan.
Thank you, Logan.
That was awesome, buddy. You're very well spoken. You should be very proud.
how have you navigated? Like, that's a big leap for a 14-year-old to put stuff out there publicly on a store. So how have you navigated that as a parent? And then I want to know, how did you help him navigate that? Because hopefully my kids will be awesome like that too.
Sure. He started with family and friends and showing neighbors what he was producing, and he was receiving orders. For probably over a year, he asked about an Etsy account, and he did a craft fair also. I was a little apprehensive with putting products out there, and sometimes the public can be a little bit more critical than family and friends. But it was an interesting learning experience to navigate that process, because he learned about billing. For example, Etsy charges you to put up a display or an advertisement, and we talked about shipping, not only the cost of it, but the time that it takes to get those products ready, and meeting deadlines as well, because he plays basketball, he plays football, involved in multiple things, and still has to be able to come home and
Go to school
and do all of his extracurricular activities as well. So it was a good lesson in time management also.
So what does this look like in your house? Is there like a workshop? Does he now own the master bedroom and everyone's moved out? How does it
He needs a workshop.
It has to be really hot with all the 3D printers.
It is.
I'm
yes.
assuming you're going to get into like servers at some point if you're not already.
It's been an incredible learning experience, though, because we had an electrician at our house that's a family friend for 3 hours one evening because something wouldn't work, and I don't speak that language with Arduinos. And,
too many things on a circuit breaker, I'm sure.
So he learned so much just sitting down with an electrician, from 3D printing to wiring. My niece is going to school in Florida for biomedical engineering. So another project he's working on was looking at 3D printing scaffolds. So consulted with her. It's been a good opportunity to network with many professionals in the field, all related to science, technology, engineering, math.
So what has this event, and I know you, Logan mentioned another event and that you were part of, what has this meant for you kind of as a family and for both of you going through this journey?
Sure, we're incredibly fortunate because he does very well in school, but has so many interests beyond your traditional curriculum. A couple of teachers at the high school level took him under their wing and has really guided them through the process. But he's learning things that, I can't even teach my own pre-service teachers because some of these occupations don't even exist right now. So he's really stepping outside the box. The teachers have supported that, and events like this give us the opportunity to really provide those enrichment experiences and even public speaking. We didn't know that we were going to be doing that today. And so many opportunities through events, activities such as this.
At what age was Logan starting to create and invent and do all these awesome things that he's a part of?
He has been building in the woods and designing since probably 5 or 6 years old.
So cool.
It transitions from building in the woods to, I want to buy a 3D printer. Then we moved from filament and printers to resin printers, and there's a little
You're
bit of
pretty well versed too. It seems like you're pretty well versed in this to an extent, right?
I'm learning through him.
Cool.
I really don't understand it, but I'm learning through him.
Well, certainly Logan's story is very inspiring, and we're excited that we were able to have you both on the podcast to be able to share that, but also your support and empowerment of Logan is inspiring as well. And we want to make sure that you're acknowledged for that, but that our listeners hear that as well, because this is a very important part of the journey.
Thank you. He gets frustrated with me sometimes because I tell him, don't be overly confident, and everything that you do is a learning experience and good life lessons to learn throughout the experiences.
Well, thank you both. Thank you for what you're doing. We're excited to see where your venture goes, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.